Hi, welcome to Brady's Blunders, where I show you the mistakes in my games, hoping you don't make the same ones in yours. Alright, in this video I'm continuing the same game against the KGS 5-dan, and in the last video I just played this, which was a mistake, and I should have been playing somewhere near the junction line to grow my moyo and shrink his, but I didn't. Now it's White's turn, and White didn't even think about junction lines. He just decided my area was too big, and he dived in as far as he could. And I thought for all of 6 seconds before playing a cap and saying, dude, that's too deep, and you're in trouble. All right, so White made a one-space jump here, and then I made this peep here. And I just want to make sure that any Q viewers that I have understand really what the purpose of this move is. And let me show it by not playing it. So if I was just to play here and defend the territory, then White's going to be making a series of contact moves and trying to get outside and make shape. And if at some point he has the choice to sacrifice either A, to save B and a whole lot of other stones, he'll do it without thinking much, and vice versa. If he can save A by sacrificing B, that's no big deal. So later on, when I threaten to push and separate them, White may embrace it and say, no, that's totally cool. You go ahead and cut me in half. I'll sacrifice that and make good shape. So the purpose of this is to ask White, is it worth making the sacrifice now? Right? Can you gain anything? And the answer is no, not really. There's no other stones in the area, so there's not much that White can sacrifice. So White just goes ahead and connects. Now, White can't sacrifice A without sacrificing B, and vice versa, right? And this is what we mean when we say that the purpose of my peep is to make White heavy. It removes the sacrifice options from White. So next I played this, and when I played it I was a little concerned that maybe this is submissive. After all, I'm supposed to be fiercely attacking these 3 white stones, but here I am, taking territory along the 3rd line. And I asked Jenny afterwards, I said, is this submissive? And she said, no, this is actually proper. This is the best move in this area. That if you were to try to seal White in like this, then White would take the same point. And now B and C are mie, right? If I take one, White will get the other, and we'll have an almost living shape. We'll certainly have at least 1 eye, maybe 2, and even if it's not quite 2 eyes, White still has additional forcing moves to the outside, and we'll have no problem living. So A would be fine if I was very confident I was going to kill White, but I shouldn't be confident that I'm going to kill White, and therefore the move I played was actually better. Then White played here, and this is the first game problem. And this is the only time I'll suggest you pause, but feel free to do it each time. So black to play, and if you were black, where would you play now? Go ahead and pause if you like. Right, so I looked at this and thought, hey, I can cut this stone. And I did it without giving that much thought. And I did it for 3 reasons. Number 1, White can't capture this stone, right? The ladder is good for me. Number 2, White can't capture this stone because it's got friends nearby, and therefore White's just throwing away this stone, right? So that was reasons 1 and 2, but the 3rd reason was I knew that if White went ahead and cut, he'd be making an empty triangle, and that's bad shape. We're all taught that that's bad shape, and therefore I thought, well, I don't mind letting White have that bad shape. Okay, but my reasoning was totally wrong, and let me explain why. The fundamental reason is just because you can cut and not die doesn't mean you should cut. My opponent is a 5-dan on KGS. He's not an idiot. If he goes ahead and plays this move, it's because he expects to get something out of it, even if I do cut. And indeed, after I cut, he did get something out of it. Right? So you really have to consider what's the final position going to look like, and what does my opponent stand to gain from this play? Not just think, oh, he played a move that doesn't work. He must be wrong, which is kind of what I thought. The second thing I just learned like in the last week, and that was watching the Lycée de Cugier video, the fifth game of the Lily Cup with Myungwon Kim and Andrew Jackson. And Andrew Jackson remarked on how many empty triangles there were. And Myungwon Kim said, those aren't empty triangles. Those are crosscuts. And Andrew was a little bit confused, but they are empty triangles. And Myungwon made clear that no, they're first and foremost crosscuts. And when you can cut, and it's the right thing to do, you don't worry about the shape. You just cut. And that's why he considers it not an empty triangle, it's a crosscut. And you really need to think of that from both white and black shoes in this perspective. And it totally makes sense, but I'd never thought of it before. This isn't bad shape, it's a crosscut. Okay. What should I have played instead? I should have played this, and I really hate, I hate second line moves. I've talked about this before in my videos. And but here, this is proper, and it's not submissive. This is preventing white from making good shape. If white tries the sacrifice type to Suji, then I am perfectly happy to eat it. And now it's black that's got good shape. There's no counterattack for white. If he goes ahead and plays this Atari, I'm happy to eat the stone. And if he connects this way, and he's saying, aha, black, I'm destroying your upper right corner, then black can go ahead and reply and say, well, that's okay because I'm destroying your shape. And this takes away the table shape. And you guys know what the table shape is, right? That if I play somewhere else and white gets this move, these four stones make the table shape. And the idea behind this, it's good shape because it's well connected and it makes eye shape. So it's a great way for white to move out, and it's a great way for white to make eyes. So this is a shape we all try to make in our games, but it's a shape that I can destroy right here and right now. And as a matter of fact, it threatens to disconnect white. So he's going to come back and connect somehow. Maybe not exactly this way, but if you look at white now, he's just an ugly little string bean. No eyes, not in good shape at all. I'd be very uncomfortable with white at this point. Okay, so the other option white has instead of this crosscut is he can play just like that, but it's effectively the same thing, right? I'm taking away his shape. He's gained nothing. And this stone isn't submissive. It's powerful. Okay, but I didn't do that, and I crosscut. So then white played here, and this is the second game problem. If you were black, where would you play now? Okay, well this is one I read before the crosscut. I just didn't find the best solution. And what I played was this, figuring that this keeps a good relation with this stone, making white's Atari here less valuable because I can just connect. And it also subdues this stone in good form. And both of these are true, by the way. But the problem is it doesn't help this stone enough, and it makes white's move here more powerful. And this was the continuation of the game. So did I have a better way? Yeah, I could just play this, and that still keeps this stone completely subdued, but directly helps this stone with a nice, strong, straight shape and lots of liberties. Now, if white plays this, I can go ahead and cut without much thought. If white cross cuts, then I just eat this stone, and I'm in total control of the top, and there's basically no aji there. This would be a great result for black. Unfortunately, I didn't see this. So instead I played this way, and then white played here. I played on top, and of course white crosscut. And this is the third game problem. So if you were black, where would you play now? Okay. I definitely saw that this stone, it's not that it's in trouble if I tenuki, and I know that it needs help. So I decided to help it directly, and I descended. Now I figured I've got a nice connection, and I'm going to capture this stone as well. And I thought all was fine, but it's not the best. Okay, the truth is I do want this K18 stone, but do I have another way to get it? Do I have a way to make white make me take it? And this is the concept of inducing moves, all right? And the answer is yes. I can go ahead and play this Atari. Now this is a stone that's going to come in useful to me later, right? It helps with the corner, it helps with the outside. This is a good stone for me to have. And then if white goes ahead and plays B, I can play C. So A induces B, which makes me play C, which is the move I wanted to play anyway. And now I'm in great shape. Great enough shape that white might not even play B, in which case I never have to play K18 in the first place. So this is definitely the better way to do it. All right, but like I said, I didn't. And instead I descended here. All right, so white's next move was to attach over here. Right? This is doing two things. Number one, it's putting pressure on these two stones. And second, though, it's threatening to activate this stone here. Right? All of a sudden, the ladder and the forcing moves are starting to get much more attractive for white, you know, by starting with an Atari here. And I decided I need to get rid of this Haji. This Haji's just going to stay here and haunt me. So I played this way. And then next, white played here, and it's exactly the same problem, right? White's threatening all kinds of moves to activate this one stone, and rather than letting white choose one of them, I decided I better solve it right now. But this is where we see the value of his sacrifices. Now, white got A and B for free because of my crosscuts at C and D. You see, you know, white got to play A and I had to answer. White got to play B and I had to answer. And so, yeah, I got lots of territory along the top, but white got Sente and he's going to be able to help his group, which he did immediately playing here. Now we come to probably the most important question in this whole series of videos that I've done for this one game with the 5-dime. This is a key juncture. If you were black, where would you play now? Right. I played here, which is totally wrong. And the reason I played it is this white stone only has 2 liberties, so I figure I'm going to be able to seal the white territory off, probably in Sente with a series of forcing moves, and I would have lots of cash. And while that part may be correct, the direction is totally wrong. And let me try to explain why. Let's say I play somewhere else. What's the worst that white can do to me on the left? Can he kill anything? Can he attack anything fiercely? No. I'm totally fine here, and I'm totally fine up here. So there's no attack that white can do. All white can do is take away points. And if we give him a reasonable move, say something like this, and let's just say he's able to push me all the way down to the 4th and 5th lines, how much is he taking away from me? Well, the truth is, it's not even mine yet, so he's not even really taking it away. But let's just say psychologically it's mine. I thought those were supposed to be my points. Then, you know, he's taking away a nice block of 4x4. He's taking it away from me. 4x4 is 16 points. So he can take away 16 points from me. Okay, that's not nothing, but that's also not the end of the world. And it's the reason it's the wrong direction. Because if I come here instead, I'm doing a few things. Number one, I'm reminding white that he's not completely alive yet. And I'm moving out into the center. And by moving out into the center, I'm reducing white by at least as much as he can reduce me on the left, and if not more. But just as importantly, because all of white's points are from this huge side, white has no choice but to answer. He can't let me just keep marching into his territory. This is where his points are. So Assuming he fixes his defect, and I come back and just play safe, make sure I'm connected. White still has a problem, right? I'm marching into his territory. So he's got to find some way to seal me in. So let's say he plays something like this. I can go ahead and continue to march into his territory and reduce him. And I'm definitely reducing him by at least the 16 points that he is able to reduce me on the left. But the difference is I'm doing it in Sente. I'm reducing him in Sente. Maybe later I'll come back and save the 16 points on the left the same way. This is so much bigger than what I played. And it's a direction of play problem and one that I missed. And I missed spectacularly. Okay. So I played this and white connected. And here's the final problem for today. If you were black, where would you play? Okay, you have an unfair advantage over what I had because I just told you about the direction of play, right? When I was playing the game, I didn't have anyone speaking into my ear saying, dude, the center is everything. So I went and played here, helping secure the left some more. And I didn't even realize that white could seal things in almost perfectly with his next move. So just one more move and I didn't even see it coming. And at this point, I'm now pretty much behind in the game. Okay, what should I have played? I should have played here. It's a safe. I know it's a knight's move, but I can either run back to this stone or I can run back to this stone, and white's not going to be able to cut this off. And I need to move into the center, and I need to move into the center right now. Too bad I didn't even see it. All right, let's recap. What did I learn from this game? Well, number one, just because you can capture a single stone or even a small group doesn't mean you should. And look at the purpose of your opponent before playing, right? I played the cut without much thinking, and I thought this was wimpy, and both of those thoughts were wrong. This keeps white heavy. This helped white make a nice sacrifice. Definitely think about shape. Don't play too fast. And inducing moves are useful. And so I could have induced the move I wanted, right? So do that. And then finally, and most importantly, think about the direction of play. And certainly when your opponent is building a huge moil like this, think about the direction of play, right? And in hindsight, this seems real obvious to me now, or if not that, maybe the second move I showed. It seems obvious, but for some reason, I didn't see it in the game. Anyway, I hope this was useful, fun, or both for you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you liked it, please follow, like, tell your friends, whatever. See ya.